I learnt you didn't have to be in a position of authority to be a leader. That was the most important lesson. There were people who were in positions of authority and showed no leadership, and there were people like my colleagues who weren't in positions of authority and showed true leadership. And that really has lived with me. You know, there was one time where I had admitted a young man into the ward who had come with his partner, and both of them were from the country, and both had been rejected by their family because they were in a gay relation. They were gay, yep. And I told the young man's boyfriend to go home because he was exhausted, and the young patient should have survived, and wasn't that sick. He deteriorated overnight, and a young intern and I worked really hard to try and keep him alive, and. This was in a 6-bedded ward, so it wasn't as though he was in isolation on his own. And I rang a specialist, and he said to me, "I'm not getting out of bed for an AIDS patient." So that's what I mean by there were some who it brought out the worst in people. It was not one of the AIDS, the doctors that worked on the ward. It was an external consult that needed to come in, but. The intern and I tried our best, and when he died, I had to ring his boyfriend and tell him that he'd died, and that was probably one of the worst experiences, and he was as gracious as you could ever imagine, and I would have preferred it if he'd yelled at me and been really upset that had happened. He was just sad that he'd lost the person he loved, and sort of that kindness, that sort of I don't know, the empathy that you need. That was quite that I still remember that couple to this day, and they taught me a lot about, I guess how to respond with compassion even when something terrible has happened to you.